When I was 8 years old, my mother took me to a train station. It was raining heavily. She held my hand, bought me a snack, and told me she'd be right back. Then she smiled and kissed my forehead. "Wait here," she said. I watched her walk away into the crowd. 1 minute passed, then 10, then an hour. Night came. People stopped passing by. The station started to empty. But my mother never came back. I spent the entire night waiting on a cold bench, convinced she would return. By morning, I realized something no child should ever have to understand. I had been abandoned. Or at least, that's what I believed. After my mother disappeared, I spent years in foster care. Every birthday, I hoped she'd come back. Every Christmas, I listened for a knock at the door, but it never came. By 28, I had stopped believing I would ever get answers. Then one afternoon, my phone rang. A stranger asked, "Is this the son of Maria Thompson?" Hearing my mother's name nearly stopped my heart. I hadn't heard it in years. The caller introduced himself as a lawyer. Then he said something unbelievable. "Your mother recently passed away." I didn't know what to feel. Anger, sadness, relief, everything at once. But then he said something even stranger. "She requested that you attend the reading of a will." A will. My mother had nothing. So whose will was it? The lawyer gave me an address. When I arrived, luxury cars filled the parking lot. Everyone inside looked rich. I felt completely out of place. Then I learned whose will was being read. It belonged to Richard Sterling, a billionaire, someone worth hundreds of millions. I had never met him. I didn't even know who he was. Yet somehow my mother's name appeared throughout his documents. As the reading began, family members inherited mansions, companies, millions of dollars. Hours passed. Nothing was left to me. People started staring. Some even laughed. Then the lawyer reached the final page. He looked directly at me. The room fell silent. The lawyer cleared his throat. Then he read the words that changed my life forever. "To the son of Maria Thompson, I leave 50% of my estate." The room exploded. People shouted. Others accused me of fraud. I couldn't even move. Then someone demanded an explanation. The lawyer opened another document and finally revealed the truth. Richard Sterling wasn't a stranger. He was my father. My entire life I believed I was abandoned by one parent. Now I discovered I had lost both. But the biggest shock was still waiting for me, because my mother had left behind a letter. The lawyer handed me a sealed envelope. My hands shook as I opened it. Inside was a letter from my mother. The first line made me cry. It read, "I never stopped loving you." She explained that she hadn't abandoned me. She had been running from people she believed wanted to hurt us. She thought leaving me behind was the only way to keep me alive. For 20 years, I hated her. Now I was reading words from a woman who may have sacrificed everything to protect me. But at the end of the letter, there was one final instruction, a storage locker key, and a message. "Everything you need to know is inside." The next day, I unlocked the storage locker. Inside were old photographs, stacks of documents, and one videotape. My mother's handwriting covered the label. I pressed play. She appeared on the screen, crying, looking directly into the camera. "If you're watching this," she said, "it means I failed to come back for you." Then she revealed a secret that changed everything. The person she feared wasn't my father. It was someone else. Someone inside the family. Someone powerful. Someone who now controlled the rest of the fortune. And according to the evidence she left behind, that person may have been responsible for multiple deaths, including hers. For weeks, I studied every document, every photograph, every recording. My mother's evidence was overwhelming. If I exposed it, powerful people could go to prison. Families would be destroyed. Businesses would collapse. Thousands of innocent employees could lose their livelihoods. If I stayed silent, the truth would die with me. For the first time in my life, I had power, real power, and I didn't know what to do with it. Then I read my mother's final message. The hardest choices are the ones where nobody wins. I've thought about those words every day since. And now I want to ask you something. If you were in my position, Would you expose the truth and risk hurting innocent people? Or keep the secret buried forever? Comment below. What would you do? For more entertaining stories, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, X Trend Vault Global. Thank you.